Subscribe for my channel Amol Ujagre and hit the bell icon for latest update.
Before we try to understand what is JUnit, let's see here till now we are we have actually written all of our tests, right? So all of our tests inside the public static void main. Okay. So here I have actually automated a login scenario for valid username and password. I have automated a scenario for valid username and password. Now let's think if I want to automate the same scenario for invalid username and password. On the same web page, I want to do another scenario with invalid username and password. Same scenario I have to do, right? Same scenario is my one case, that is the valid username and password. So I might be having three cases. So let's say my first case is, let's say, valid credentials. Second case is invalid credentials. My third case is, let's say, blank credentials. Okay, so these are my three different test cases. So here in front of me there is only one test case. So I want to write these three test cases. So how do I write that in this program? Let me guess. This is your public static void main. Okay, public static void main. Right. So I'm not writing the full code. So let's say there are certain lines I will write some statements or code for valid credential, just like we have it here. Okay, so there is one way is like this. So let me just draw it there. Okay, so one way is I have actually put first scenario here. Okay, so let's just reduce the zoom, and after that again, once this scenario completes, so what we will do is we will close the page, and then we will write another scenario. Okay, so this is, let's say, for invalid. Above one was for valid. Okay, so this is the scenario for invalid. This is for, let's say, valid. This is for invalid. So let me put some invalid username and invalid password. Okay, so this is for invalid. One more scenario I will write for blank. So let's say blank username password. Blank username password. So that once I run this public static void main, first the valid scenario it will run. It will close the browser. Then for invalid scenario it will run. Then it will close the browser, and then for blank username password, the whole scenario it will run, and then it will close the browser, isn't it? So this is the way I can think in case if I am aware of the basics of Java. Okay, so this is one of the way. It could be a one of the way. Okay, let's keep advantages and disadvantages aside. Logically or technically, this flow will work. Okay, so just think it manually. You have been told to test these three scenarios. So what you will do? First, you will open a browser, you will deal with the scenario, and then we'll close the browser. Or might be in the same browser, you will refresh it, and again you will put another credentials and you will check. Again you will refresh the browser and you will do with the another credentials and you will check. Okay, so manually this flow is correct. So as long as your manual testing is concerned, so this is how you are going to do, right? And as long as coding is concerned, looking at the same, I have actually done the same here. Okay, so there is nothing wrong in it technically. But let's say while test management perspective, if you consider the test management perspective, so this approach has certain disadvantages. Okay, let me tell you. Suppose in between any line fails. Okay, suppose on the web page on because of some statements. Now I've written very simple and straightforward code. Your test might not be that simple. Your test script might be quite complicated or might have certain number of lines, more number of lines, right? So what may happen is that in between, suppose some line fails, right? If suppose this line throws an exception, okay, so suppose this throws an exception, this throws an exception and we haven't handled it, right? We cannot judge or we cannot simply handle the whole code, right? So handling the exception everywhere is not possible, not feasible as well, right? So if suppose this throws an exception which we are not aware of, right? So throwing the exception, it means that it will lose the control of your program execution from this line. Okay, and once it loses the control of your program from any particular line, no further statements are executed. Okay, so no further statements are going to be executed once it finds an exception. And if suppose it finds the exception in very first test case, then your rest of the code that you have written will be waste, right? So this is the main disadvantage of you writing all the scenarios inside one public static void main or inside one main method, right? So limitations of main methods for multiple scenarios. Okay, so one limitation I have just told, right? So if we wrote all the scenarios or multiple scenarios in one main method, okay, in one main method, then in between any statement fails or throws an exception then no further code will execute. Okay, so this is the one. Fine. And tomorrow, let's suppose there are 10 cases, okay, and out of which I just told you to run only 2 cases, right? Suppose this is valid and invalid, and I'm telling you to execute just the invalid and blank one, right? So you cannot, in that case, manually you have to actually put a comment over this code and then you have to run, right? So I cannot choose specific cases to execute, right? Tomorrow you may get such a requirement, right? So you don't have to run your whole test suite, you have to run any specific test cases, right? So just to run any specific cases, right? So we cannot run any specific test scenario from one main method. Okay, so we cannot run any specific test scenario from one main method. Okay, so this is the one. Next thing, one more disadvantage, right? So here, if you carefully observe, whatever we are doing since we started learning Selenium till today, we have just automated the scenario. Okay, we have just automated the scenario. We have not tested the scenario, right? So testing will only happen when you will compare the expected result with actual result, isn't it? So nowhere in the code it is been observed that we have compared the expected result and actual result, right? That's what the purpose of the testing is, isn't it? So comparing the expected and actual result is the purpose of the testing. Now it's not like that we cannot do it in the main function, we can do it, right? So for example, let's suppose if I pass this case, so let's say this is the login page, right? So let's fail this case. So let's say I am putting a invalid username and invalid password, so I may get certain error message. Okay, so this is my expected result, right? So I may get this, so I should compare this text with my expected result, which will be actually already defined, right? So I may compare these two strings and I will get the result. Just in case these two strings, that is expected string and actual strings, are equal, then I'll be saying that this is the correct message and the test is passed. Okay, so inside the main method you will have to do string comparison, right? So sometimes I may have some another expected result. Let's suppose this is the login page, so stop. Okay, so let's suppose admin and login here. Okay, and I just want to check whether this appears or not, right? So there are certain methods like is displayed, or let's say is enabled, right? So it returns true or false. My expected result is now boolean, true or false. Earlier my expected result was string, now my expected result is boolean, right? So some other cases my expected result would be in some other format, right? So I may have expected result in different format. So for that different format I will have to write different implementation for the comparison, right? For string comparison I will have to do another implementation. For boolean comparison I will have to write another comparison. If suppose I have to compare any two lists, so I need to write any another implementation for comparing two lists or array. Okay, so different implementations for different comparisons of expected results and actual results in plain Java program, right? So we have actually solution for it in frameworks as well. So let's write the limitation, right? So third limitation I believe is different implementations of different types of comparison of expected and actual results. Okay, so different implementations of different types of comparisons of expected and actual result. Okay, for example, string, then boolean, array, lists. Okay, so if suppose my expected result is in the form of string, I will have a different implementation. If my expected result is in the form of boolean, array, or list, I will have a different implementation for that different comparisons of expected and actual results. So these three, mainly I believe these three are the main limitations of the main method. If you have multiple scenarios inside a single main method, so these implementations, these will be my limitations.